Hello everybody. Here I have the LG Optimus Elite from Virgin Mobile. It's their new phone in the Optimus lineup. Again, ported from Sprint. And let me first of all tell you I have a cold, so don't mind my sniffling. First of all, like that. First of all, let's go over some of the specs. You've got a 1500 milliamp hour battery in this thing, which, let me say, this phone's pretty thin compared to other phones on Virgin Mobile. So that's nice, and it looks neat. It's got a nice kind of design thing, if you can see it. There we go. And on the front, actually, too much of a glare, but there we go. You can see a little bit of a checkered design. Also, it's $150 from Virgin Mobile. 3.5-inch touchscreen. It has Wi-Fi, B, G, and N. Bluetooth 3.0, which is a newer version. Gingerbread 2.3.7. And it has an 800 megahertz processor, so not top of the line like the Triumph, but not as low as a 600 on the Optimus V. Also, 4 gigabytes of internal memory, so you won't have that problem of filling up your memory after downloading only a few apps, such as with pretty much all Virgin Mobile's other devices. So that's really nice. As you can see, 5 megapixel camera with a flash. And it also has NFC, which is near field communication, which can be used with Google Wallet to make payments at some places. And I'll explain that later. Alright, so first of all, back to the battery. The battery has a charging issue for some reason. I'll plug it in and it'll sit there at, say, 20% what I plugged it in at. And as you can see, it needs charging, even though it's been on the charger for about an hour. It'll just sit there at 20% and then really not go up. I've had it sit at 0%, nothing, and not be able to turn it on even after an hour of charging. And I don't know why that is. Also, the battery, it lasted alright. It was on the bad side. I could never I made it through a day the first day, and I was pretty impressed, and I was happy with the battery, but then I found out the charging issue it has, and also I never made it through another day. It actually quits earlier than my other phones. So mixed reviews on the battery, but I'd say probably bad. And then also, let's take a look at the phone app. Let me make sure I'm not in anything. Okay, you can see it's a really smooth running device. It's nice, but in the phone app here, it's a little different look to it. Sorry about all the glare. The phone, let me tell you, the app works well, the phone works well, it's nice and responsive and everything, but the other callers on the other end, it sounds hollow to them, and it actually sounds hollow when talking on the phone for us to hear as well. So it's not a great phone overall. There's absolutely no bass, so it's not very well rounded. This speaker is actually used as the speaker for playing music and for the ringer as well. As you can see, there are no other speakers, so that might have something to do with it, but either way, I would not give it a thumbs up. Let's look at messaging. Let's pop in here. You can see we have the Gingerbread keyboard, and someone commented on one of my other videos saying I started typing the quick. Yes, I do watch Phone Dog. Okay, so we've got the Gingerbread keyboard. That's the one I use, but it also comes with swipe, and you can use it in portrait or landscape. So this appears to be a newer version of swipe, but I don't know. Okay, I'm looking through the camera, so alright. So that's that. But overall, let me tell you, the keyboard was nice, especially coming up from my Optimus V, which has a smaller screen size. I could type out messages just fine, but I often hit the period instead of the space bar. But that happens for me on many phones. So other than that, the messaging app was fine, never lagged or anything. Holds lots of messages without gaining a lag, like other phones like the Optimus V. Also, let's see. Also, let's take a look at the web browser here. I already loaded up phonedog.com. Yes, another sign that I look at phonedog.com. The browser supports Flash, full Flash, as you can see. You've got some Flash ads running in the side. Pinch to zoom is actually pretty dang good for a phone of this price, and being a mid-range phone and not with a 1 gigahertz processor, or more than a gigahertz. Okay, so it's a bit jumpy, but it's actually not bad overall. And back to why I loaded the page ahead of time. The browser is incredibly slow on 3G, so that's never nice. And my Wi-Fi is not great either, but when it's on Wi-Fi, it loads a lot faster. So just something to keep in mind. Pinch to zoom, like I said, it's alright. It does flash. Web browsing was alright. There was nothing wrong with it. As you can see, double pinch or double tap, you can zoom in. Browsing was just fine, and like I said, it's not a huge screen, but it's bigger than my other one, so I liked it. Not really any page jumpy, loady, or well, loady. The page didn't jump around or anything, but so overall it's pretty good, but it's better on Wi-Fi, at least in the areas that I tested it. Alright, now let's see if I can do a benchmark before my video time is up here. I got the Quadrant app actually just a little bit ago, and I tested it once. So let's see if it'll show up in here. Quadrant. Okay, I guess the alphabet in my head isn't doing itself, playing it out right now. But I will run a benchmark here, and you can just watch that. And I need to talk about the wireless radio in this phone. Like I said, it's pretty slow when using the browser on 3G, and of course 2G. But one real complaint I had about this phone, I live in a fringe area for Sprint, so there's not great coverage, but so it's a real problem for me. But I really get not very good service. This phone, it drops in and out a lot, and it'll get 0 to 1 bars where my other phone will get 2 or 3. So if you do live in an area where Sprint doesn't get very great coverage, Sprint or Virgin Mobile, that will be a definite downside, because I have to say, it'll fail for text messages because it'll not have service, or calling, it'll drop a call. But so overall, bad service. That's my point here. And then also, I was going to talk about the 3G in general is slow as well for other apps, but particularly in the web browser. In a different town, I tried it, and it was actually it was a good time of day, and I got a pretty fast speed test result. I'll show you that later in part 2. But the browser was still a little slow, even though downloading was just fine. So then NFC I was going to talk about. That's near field communication. It's a thing where basically the main use is Google Wallet, which if you sign up, it's free. It's preloaded on the phone. It gives you a free $10 virtual credit card, virtual debit card. So that's nice. I plan on using that before I give up the phone. I went to try it, and the store that the internet said had the capability didn't, so I need to go. I do not live in a big city, so when I do go to the big city, I will test it out. I don't know that they'll like me filming a transaction, so probably won't do that. But anyways, NFC, you hold the phone up, you hold it up to the thing where the credit card goes, and it transmits the amount that you owe. It shows it right on the screen of your phone then, and then you accept it by putting in a PIN, and then hold it up to the credit card scanner thing again, and voila, you've made your payment. So it's supposed to be really easy. I'd like to try it. Plus I get free $10, so why not, right? Let's take a look at this. My video is about to be done. Your device, you can see right there under the Optimus 2X, which is a really good phone, so keep that in mind. It's not the Optimus V. Can't really see this here, but our score is 1,980. So that's pretty good. It's above the or the Samsung Nexus S, which is a really good phone. And here we've got the 1X at the top, but overall I'd say not bad for this range of a phone. And now I will be back in part 2 with more. Thanks for watching.